Many of you may know Mittensquad, a YouTuber known for his unique playthroughs of various games like Fallout and Skyrim. However, he hasn't uploaded in over a year and a half due to his very clear drinking problem he shared to the world.
What is the most alcohol you have drank in one night? I honestly don't know. Maybe. I know I did like 22 shots one night in the summer. I try to keep track because, as I've said, I'm a maniac. I write down when I do the shots and what time I do them. But I really have no idea.
He was a struggling alcoholic that would black out multiple times a week and would drink as much in one day as some people do in an entire year. And I actually made a video on his situation 6 months ago trying to spread some awareness and support for Mittensquad because he is honestly one of the best YouTubers out there, and it genuinely makes me sad that now one of the people I watched growing up was never able to overcome his addiction. He even made a community post on his channel only 3 weeks ago, but here we can see the news that has surfaced on Twitter and has been confirmed, the news that he has unfortunately passed away, and you can even read and visit his obituary. The cause of death right now is unknown, but I think it's safe to assume that it had at least something to do with his alcohol addiction. This is honestly a tough situation to cover. I mean, Mittensquad has been a huge inspiration for me and many others, and I made a video on him just earlier this year. I was happy the video reached some people that also struggled with alcohol addiction, and there was tons of comments praying for Paul and brave people sharing their stories with alcohol abuse. I just want to use this video to spread some awareness on Mittensquad's situation, as well as awareness about the dangers of alcohol. I myself have friends and family that struggle with addiction, and man, alcohol really will consume your life. For any recovering alcoholics or young people that haven't tried it, my advice would just to be to never drink it. I feel like we live in a time where people feel like you have to drink. People treat it like getting to an age where they drink alcohol is an accomplishment, but I see it firsthand what it can do to people, and I myself will never drink in my entire life. Alcohol is a poison. It's not a fun thing to be around, and I think that's what we can take from Mittensquad's situation. An incredible guy that touched the heart of millions but was never able to recover from his addiction. This is honestly one of the saddest things I've heard in a while, and probably the least enjoyable video I'll ever make. But I feel that it is important. It's important for people to know the dangers of alcohol, and important for people to know where Mittensquad is, which is hopefully in a better place above us. Mittensquad was just in the hospital and ER multiple times earlier this year, and he's made his problem clear for a few years now, and it just pains me to see that he didn't ever get through his problem. Mittensquad was one of the greatest YouTubers of all time, but it looks like we won't be ever getting a new video again. If you've ever played Fallout or Skyrim, then you probably know who Mittensquad is, and you've definitely seen a video of his. And even if you haven't, you probably still know who he is. We know that Mittensquad contracted pancreatitis earlier this year, and he almost went into a coma earlier this year and almost died as well. Alcohol addiction is something that affects over 15 million people in the USA alone, and only about 10% of them will ever get help in some form. It just seems surreal to think Mittensquad is no longer on this earth with us. He has passed away. It's heartbreaking. I really don't even know what to say for this video. It is just heartbreaking, and honestly haven't really even processed it yet, you know. It's one of those things where it just won't hit you until a little later on. And looking back at some comments, at some videos, you know, it's hard to just watch them. It's hard to look at them. It's hard to just, you know, just knowing he couldn't get through his addiction. If you yourself or someone you know are a struggling alcoholic, please talk to someone or get help by calling the hotline on the screen. This is a terrible situation, and it really shows you just how short and precious life can be. So guys, just tell your family you love them, be positive, and trust God with your life, because we never know how or when it will all end. And I know I didn't go too deep into this exact problem and situation, since this was just a video to let people know that may not have seen it, and to help and warn any struggling alcoholics out there. If you do want to see a bit more on how we got here, I've put the video I made a while ago on the screen, which goes a bit more in depth. However, I understand you may not want to watch something like this, so don't feel like this is some weird con artist thing. All we can do is move forward and enjoy every moment we have on this earth. Rest in peace, Mittensquad. You will never be forgotten.